Oh, how fabulous! Eddie! Eddie! What are you doing?
Hey Tony, just reading some fascinating literature here on
What?
art bar.
Oh, gosh. Here's another one. Were you also reading that? This is fascinating. Art bar, mixing drinks with paint.
Correct.
Oh my goodness. Look how much fun these people are having. This is amazing.
It is amazing.
But now you must come and have an interview with me.
Love to, Tony, love to.
Oh gosh, I feel like this could change my life. Come this way. Come and sit here.
Thank you.
I feel like I need to just put that there. Like right there. Look at that. Oh, here we go.
One of them.
I need another one. Welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and today my fabulous guest is actually also one of our fabulous sponsors of the show, Eddie from Art Bar down here in Moorabbin in Melbourne. Eddie, where Eddie so doesn't want to be here. He's like, I don't want to be here.
Oh, I do.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for actually being here. I know that you just prefer to be over there on the canvas and creating and moving, and it is nerve-wracking, I guess, having a little that's what you said before. Lies.
Nude modelling I'm good with. It's
Okay.
just this stuff when I'm dressed, it makes me nervous. But anyway.
I know. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. It's really nice.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, so Eddie, this is the Art Bar. This is a magnificent space, and we'll go into how you created this, how it was in here, and then it went everywhere, out there and down there.
Right.
But I would love to go back a little bit further and talk to you about how obviously you are the most creative man ever. This is actually, this whole set is actually built by Eddie as well. And we'll get some footage so you can actually see this space. It's got an amazing feel. But you weren't always in this space, and you weren't always an artist, I guess, in the sense that you are now. Where did you start out? What was happening at school? What was Eddie doing at school?
So, confession of my school days.
I love it.
Wasn't a big fan of school.
No, neither was I. In fact, I actually really, really disliked it a lot.
The
so many
science
reasons.
and maths and all that stuff, jazz, didn't really interest me so much. I think the art side of it did.
Yeah.
And I just doodled and did art. And
Did you have good teachers? Did you have good people back in primary school and high school that kind of saw that potential in you, that kind of nurtured it and teased it out, or not?
Well, yes, in a way. I was kicked out of school, but the only way I could get back into school was if I only did art.
Yeah,
So
right.
for 8 periods a day I'd do art.
That's fantastic.
So kids would come
So
in.
you were living the dream.
Well, the kids would come in for the 1 hour art class, they'd leave. New students would come in, they'd leave.
And there's Eddie still doing his stuff.
Yeah, so
That's fantastic. So
my
what was
folks
wrong
are
with
okay
that?
with that to keep me there doing that. So so answering the question, they were pretty good, the school, to commit to doing that for me. And
That's
it was great.
amazing.
It
That
was
is
really good.
amazing. Was that one of those like Steiner schools or something like that?
No, it was. I actually came from Dufton, which was a little bit of probably a rougher area back in its day. So I wasn't. Yeah.
That's very forward thinking of them to actually do that, because I guess they didn't have to do that. I wish my school did that. But this is over in Mount Maunganui in New Zealand, Aotearoa, and 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I really disliked school a lot. I couldn't focus and concentrate.
Yeah.
And I think, knowing what I know now, I think I probably had some kind of learning disorder, and I just didn't learn the way all the teachers back then knew how to teach.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in maths, I wasn't interested in science, and you know, even when I sort of was in high school as well, and there was actually lots of skiving off from school because I just didn't enjoy it at all. I just kind of felt like my brain was everywhere, and it makes sense now.
Yeah, of
course. And probably, you know, so you were you were really lucky to have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so I did that for a whole year, and then a program came up at Melbourne College for well, back then I suppose it was an arts degree. So because the eastern states and Tasmania, South Australia and Victoria ran the one college, so they were selecting 16 students out of, I think at the time was about 390, because they had the Tasmania, South Australia and Victoria. So they're only selecting 16. My dad had passed away. My mum kind of didn't drive. I got on a train, went into the city in my surfy shorts. I remember I had some Quicksilver surfy shorts.
Oh, I love it. And it is Quicksilvers.
Yeah, I did. And and I walked into this place where all the private school boys with their Masnod jackets and all their portfolios, and I remember sitting there thinking, got no chance. What am I doing here?
I love that.
So
how old were you? You were like
I was
16?
I was about 16 and a half.
That's huge.
So
that's a huge thing.
My mum didn't even know I was doing it. So I went in, sat down, had an interview, big boardroom with all the big fat cats and all that. So
in their suits?
Yeah. And I was just sitting there looking at myself going, shit, misread this plan.
I love it.
Then I made then there was a cut. I think it was about 150 or 130 or something. So I made the cut. Didn't even think that was going to happen. Made the cut. They wrote to my school to say that I'd made the cut to my teachers. So that was kind of a big deal, which was a good step. So
it's a huge deal.
So the next stage was to get all your art together, and it was the next interview to get the cut. I had no art really, because I'd give it away or whatever. So I didn't really keep an eye on it. So it had to be done on the Tuesday, the interview. On the Friday night, I went and bought a shitload of paint, textures, thing, and decided to whip up as much art as I can in 3 days. So I did that, just sat at home and just went after this, just whipped up a whole heap of different shit.
Yeah.
And got to the interview, and pulled it all out, went through the table, they all looked at everything.
Have you still got that art? Did you keep it?
No.
This is fascinating. Oh my goodness.
So like I did with my original stuff. So so that was that. Mates picked me up, we went surfing, went down the lawn. How'd you go? I said, dickheads and all that, whatever. And then that was it. And didn't hear anything for about, I think it was probably at least 2 months. And I'd already thought that I had made the cut or anything like that. So that was it. I was 16, just turned 17, so didn't think too much of it. And then
I love that you didn't think too much of it.
My teacher the principal called me on the microphone, as he has done many a times. Oh. So I get down there and I thought, what have I done? And then they said, congratulations, you made the 16. So that's
incredible.
That's how I got into that.
That is so cool.
So I did a 4-year apprenticeship, if you will. Yeah. So.
And did you feel like, do you think it was partly your kind of, relaxed kind of, I don't really care about it, I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow and do it last minute, and if I get it I don't, if I wear my boardies I don't, that kind of attitude that got you there?
I do everything last minute.
I know a little bit about this. I don't know you a little bit, but I do know about that.
And I think last minute gets the best result, because you don't think too much about it. So I don't know. I mean, that's probably from an art point of view, but
But you're very organised outside of. I mean, I've seen some of your plans and maps and designs and know stuff. Maybe you've been made to grow up.
Yeah, I have to grow up.
There's
kids, wife.
Yeah.
Mortgage grows you up.
Yeah. So you've grown up heaps, mate. Heaps.
So yeah, so that was the.
And did you love doing that 4 years? Like, was it just?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was really good. I worked for a great company. I did the 4 years and then worked for a great company, and then I kind of got greedy to do some bigger projects through the firm, where the bosses wouldn't allow me to. Because I was an apprentice, I couldn't take on big tasks, so I used to lie to get some of the bigger jobs. So I ended up designing the head logo and design for SPC Fruits. Did a lot of work for Coca-Cola. Did a lot of stuff back then.
And was that not on a computer? That was
it was all hand stuff.
All hand
back
stuff,
in the day.
hand-drawn.
Yeah, so it had to be. If you got a brief, you'd have to draw it, colour it in, give it to the boss. The boss would then bring the clients in and do the pitch and all the sale and stuff like that. So, so I did a lot of good stuff like that. I did a 4-story Cadillac at a nightclub when I was about 19 in town. Then I got into DJing. Because I just love the nightclub scene.
Eddie's a DJ.
Yeah, so
Tell us about that.
I DJ'd a few good Melbourne clubs back in the day. So yeah.
Juggling art with the DJing, with the everything else.
Well, it wasn't hard. Art's not that hard going to work. So.
Art's not that hard going to work.
No, it's not work doing art. So when I finished work, to go do another job or DJing or whatever, it was kind of fun. So
you really were living your best life then, because you were doing.
You don't realise it until you just told me that then now.
Damn, see? There it is.
Yeah.
I was living my best life, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, sometimes you don't know, do you?
Well, I think hindsight's always a really good thing.
True that.
And, as you get older, say this all the time on this show, you get more of an understanding. Hindsight is lovely with travelling, with relationships, with everything. Often it's not until you are past and through it that you actually can look back and be a bit more loving.
Correct.
In looking at it.
Yeah.
Appreciative.
Yeah.
And be fond about it, and not so, I'm just trying to get through to the next stage in my life.
Yeah.
It gives you that sort of space to just sit there and go, oh yeah, I remember.
That's right.
I remember, like, totally un-art related.
I feel like I should be laying on a couch.
But it's like those Christmases you have, and it's a freaking nightmare, and everyone's there, and someone's fighting, and someone's breaking up, and the thing, and the mum's hysterical, and things are burning, and
but that's Christmas.
People, and it's
great,
and it's but it's chaos, and it can get really tension, but skip forward a few years and you think, damn, that was precious. That person's no longer with us. Thank God we made that effort to do that. And although it was crazy and chaotic, and clumsy and not perfect.
Well, you never get it right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You never get it right. So you're having this lovely life doing art and surfing and DJing and just,
That was good now that we talk about it.
I feel like I want to see hair. Shit. Did you have like kind of surfy hair? Like when you sort of, was it all a bit...
This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Perms were in.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember, you're probably a few years younger than me, but perms, you used to get a perm.
Yeah, right. I actually tried to get a perm, but my hair was too thin, and it wouldn't hold it. I was devastated.
So, yeah.
Did you get a perm?
Yeah, I did.
I love it. Did you bleach it also?
Yeah, wore headbands when I was DJing. We had a rap crew, so we used to kind of spit on our heads and that in nightclubs and all that kind of stuff as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo, this kind of business.
Yeah.
Oh, we are the same.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so we did that.
And did you have your own little piece of cardboard?
Correct, at my mum's house under the carport.
You're probably too young to. Some people will be too young to understand what we're talking about. But it was like breakdancing and having a piece of cardboard, and then you do your stuff with.
In the good old days, because then flash dance and all those good moves were coming out.
Yes. Oh man,
that was good times. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, it was real good. It was real good.
And then I got a girlfriend.
Oh, and we the guys were all like, "Oh man, this crowding our space."
Yeah. So I was DJing at the time, and there was a girl walking down the stairs, and I was walking up the stairs, and I pulled her by the hair,
And there would have been smoke everywhere also.
The smoke, all the laser lights. And I said, do you want to dance? And she said, no, only if my friend could dance with me. I went, that's cool. So we danced. And
I'd love to see Eddie does.
We danced, and then we got married.
So not the girl that you were saying, that was the friend? Or was it the girl that you actually stopped?
Yeah, that was the girl I stopped pulled by her hair.
Oh, I
and
love
that was
it.
36 years ago.
Oh, what a beautiful love story. That's
then
amazing.
DJing kind of went downhill from there, and surfing went downhill from there, and lots of stuff was...
Yeah.
But as you said, hindsight, things were changing, and then...
Well, you'd have to change. It would be
the
weird that you were
the
still
babies,
doing...
all that.
And you had some lovely babies?
Yeah, 3 lovely boys. They're all well and...
Artistic?
Yeah, I've got a son who's a doctor. I've got Cooper who works with me, he's a bit artistic, and
lovely
another
artistic
son
boy.
of mine played AFL football. So yeah, very different crew at my house, not all the same, which was good.
Yeah.
Great stories.
Oh, and look, I've only met one of your sons, and he's a lovely gentleman. He's
Coops.
Yeah, Coops. What did I say?
Yeah, my son, yeah.
Oh yeah, Coops, yeah. So he's just a lovely person. So I think all credit to you and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
So there you were, being a DJ, then you go and get married. So did you continue with the art, or what happened? What happened then?
Well, the art. I got married. We got married, and son came, Jesse, my first, and then we, got a mortgage, and so art wasn't going to cut the bills.
Yeah.
So I went into building. My father-in-law was a tiler, great man who's not around today, but taught me a lot, and I started tiling.
Did you feel like that was still, you were still holding on to your creative art persona, like who you were going into building?
Well, it does actually. It's funny that the two kind of align quite well. Creativity can be introduced into tiling and building, which that's what I did. So you're designing, you're colouring, you're creating, and especially with tiling too, you create some great patterns, which I did, some great floors. You're understanding levels, you're understanding lines, you're understanding all that, which is all a part of that kind of art stuff. So that's where I went into, because that's the stuff that was going to pay the bills. Yeah.
And you do have to do that, like when you do get married and you have a family, we were talking about this before, your priorities change. They have to.
Absolutely.
Don't they?
Oh, they must.
And if it means that you have to go and do that for a job, or that for a job, or forgo whatever, you will always put your children first, won't you?
For sure. People say, will you go to parties and barbecues? What do you do? And the answer is whatever it takes.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's exactly right. And it's interesting because I remember before we had our beautiful son, and we only have one son, but I remember often being a bit bored, a bit bored and a bit sort of, self-absorbed, and, it's all about me. As soon as you have that child, everything changes, doesn't it? You just go, you're not bored for a start, because you're always running around like a blue-ass fly.
You haven't got time to be bored.
No time to be bored.
Yeah.
But also, you're really rethinking who you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
As a person.
Well, it does change you in a really nice way, but
yeah, I think it's a nice way.
You become a different person.
I think,
you become a different person. You look at your responsibilities from a different angle.
And what you want to actually impart, the knowledge that you want to impart, and how I think, and I was saying this just earlier, that I want to show Jack that, what it is to be a good person.
Yeah.
He'll see everything, warts and all here.
Yeah.
Good, bad, hysterical, whatever, because that's the authentic me.
Yeah.
But I also want to I want him to be a good person in the community. So how does he become that? He watches myself and my husband do that, and it is really important. Whereas before kids, I don't give a shit really. I mean, honestly, I did not.
And you weren't focused on how other kids were behaving either, or anything like that.
No.
And so it's not until you have your own kids that, as you just said, you want to pass on the good stuff.
Yes.
What then you see other. So, yeah, it's a big change, but it's a good change, and I think it's just a natural change. It's not something you plan for. It just kind of does itself like water.
That's exactly right. You know, and looking for the good, you know, the best school and the best thing and the best whatever. You know, it all falls into place. And I think you're quite lucky in that you do have Coops working here as well, designing with you, creating with you. How young was he when he got into helping you do what you do?
Coops finished year 12 and then went into drafting at uni. Got his diploma, finished in that, and this had kind of started Creative Features, which we're doing displays and design work.
We need to talk about that because I've seen some of the incredible things. I'm going to call them things because there are so many different things that you do and create and design and build and construct. You're an artist now, going from building, but it's just so much bigger than that, what you do. And so Coops is in there, so he did his drafting.
So he came in initially because he was good, had a good skill at with drafting and using programs such as CAD and all those things. So for me it was good to design some boxes and stuff. We had some early clients that we did, which was pretty cool. He was never going to work with me. It was just to come in, he'd just finished, and it was going to be a transition to where does he go from here, where do you get a job.
Was it nice having him here?
Yeah, it was initially, it was good. It was kind of, he kind of understood what I wanted or expected, and he knew, you know, if I'm grumpy or how I behave. So it wasn't, and I could, you know, just be a dad, but at the same time be a bit professional with him as well. As you said, teach him the right way, and that kind of went from 1 week to 2 weeks to hanging around to doing this to doing that. We did some great stuff in Sydney. We built some big Torrygate, Japanese Torrygate. We did some good creative stuff that I think he got addicted to. And kind of liked it. And all his mates were going, shit, you know, I wish my dad we were doing that and all that kind of thing.
So you're like the cool dad.
I think that's what I was hearing from his friends. Coops is very kind of reserved and quiet, but that kind of led to that, and that's where we are today. He's working with us and he does a great job. He puts a lot of effort in, and you've seen him around the traps. So
let me just finish off with the building, and then I want to talk about the two businesses here. So you were building, so build,
Yep.
And then you even won a building award.
Yeah, well, that was the Victorian Builders Association Bathroom of the Year Award.
Goodness.
So again, that was a countdown from, I was up against, you know, some of the biggest builders in the state.
Yeah, of course you were.
So they invited us to the Crown. It was a really great night.
And you got your tux at the last minute.
No, I wasn't in my surfing gear or anything. Yeah, so I'd learned from that to dress appropriately. And then we're at the table, and all the nominations came up on the big screen. There was a full room at the Crown, and then this massive spotlight just shines on our table and says, you know, Eddie Ballick from Melbourne Bathrooms, and I didn't really hear it, and there was the guy next to me goes, mate, you just won it. I said, bullshit.
That's so
I said, I'm not fucking talking on stage. I am not going to talk on stage.
I can't imagine you saying that because you are so...
So anyway, so that was that. So it was good, and it was a great home, great clients we worked for, and it was good achievement.
And so then you stopped being a builder at some point and went, right, I'm going to focus everything and start. Which business did you start first?
Well, kids are grown up now, so they're a bit bigger, and it's like, you know, now it's my time. So the Creative Features, which is what we do.
So Creative Features who? So, give us an example of. I mean, this is small fry for you. This is. I think this is amazing. This is just the smallest speck of what you possibly can do. Tell us, if you're a client. So, say I'm a client, and I want to engage you. What's the sort of stuff that you can do for me?
Okay. So some of the stuff,
because it's kind of hard to get your head around.
Right,
You
so
go,
some
oh,
of the
he's an
stuff
artist.
we've done. We did a national rollout for Body Shop for all their Body Shop stores. A campaign that they ran throughout had to be at the same time, same hour, same minute around the country on the displays, which was, a big job that we undertook. That was one thing. Qantas wanted us to build their 100-year aircraft. Rang up and said, can you do this? Oh, shit, yeah, we do this all the time.
Yeah.
Put the phone down. Carolyn goes, are you joking me? We've never built an aeroplane. I said, yeah, she did it in.
I love your attitude. I love this about you. Yeah, I'll just do it and I'll work out how to do it.
We do it all the time. Just, she did it in.
Yeah.
She got on the phone and she goes, you're kidding me. So we had to build this 2.5 metre aircraft for their 100-year birthday and a time capsule. So they were going to put pilots' hats and menus and all the stuff of today, and then in 100 years' time, open this plane. So we did that.
So the plane. So you took the brief, designed it in CAD.
Well, it was done on a render program.
Oh, okay.
So which we worked from.
Yeah. And then you made it out of?
It was made out of a plastic. It was a plastic coating which we had to sand the wings, the engines.
And then you painted it as well.
Then the Qantas and the 100-year logo and all that, which was the brief that we were given. And we took it up to Sydney to head office at Qantas to present it.
Did you just pack it in brown paper and bubble wrap when
we
you did
made
that,
a massive box for it. It had to be made in a big box, and it was driven. We drove that
up. Fragile.
Very, very. And then we got up there and we opened it, and it was wrong. The agency gave us the wrong details on the aircraft.
No.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Well, the big cats sort of thought, no, piss it off.
No.
I said, what?
Just change the number.
Well, you just can't do that.
Oh, no.
So we did. So we panicked. We got a company down here to send us up all the new decals, and they said, we'll give you 24 hours to get it corrected, and we did all that, and we were spraying inside the executive suites with airbrushes and all that.
All happening.
So the next day, all the big cats and everyone turned up, and
it was
went through, and that's still up there now. So
I love
that was one of them.
Qantas Body Shop.
Yeah.
And there was a job that you showed me, and you'd done this, you were painting a combi in a shopping centre.
Yeah.
And there was a DJ there, and you were painting it as people were shopping. Yeah. What was that about? Or was that top secret?
No, it's not. It's a live mural. It was an open top combi. So it's all coming back to me. Surfy days, the combi, DJ on top. So they were DJing. Crowd was gathering around, obviously, listening to some tunes, having a groove, and then Coops and I were putting a mural on the outside of the combi all the way around as people were watching us do it live. So it was Cherry Blossom's theme, because at that time the actual event was for Cherry Blossom, and we did Cherry Blossoms and Mount Fuji on the combi. It was really good.
Just painting, just happy days, listening to music, combis.
DJ, combi.
And so you do all these amazing different massive jobs, medium jobs, little jobs, all about create. Well, here's the thing though: you can be as creative as you like, but if you can't actually nail the brief, then it's not right. So there's a whole different side to every job you do as well. There's the business side of it and getting that right,
of course,
and then balancing. How do you do it? Do you ever feel like, I just want to go, I want to really push it, I want to push that creativity? But
we do, but as you said, the brief's going to put the brakes on how far you can go.
Yeah.
It's good when a client gives you the opportunity to go mad.
Yeah.
And one prime example was a home up in Balan, just out of Ballarat. It was a 200-year-old homestead, which was renovated by a very successful businessman here in Victoria. And he wanted to preserve the heritage of the home. And he asked me if I could do a massive mural inside the home on a big wall, which was quite a big wall. And the brief was he wanted to capture all the old settlers and all the folks that had passed through this home.
Oh,
so it was
wow.
things like Burke and Wills, Faulkner, Batman, all the great historians of the country, of the time. So he gave me all that, and then we put the brief together. We put it on a computer, in situ it on the wall, went and met with the client, and he said go for it. So I went and stayed there for 5 weeks out in the middle of nowhere in a beautiful home, fire on every night.
Oh, beautiful.
Just painting this big wall, and the result was amazing. The client, the instructions were you can't see it until it's finished, which whenever I do some art I'd like, because you know that saying, you never get a second chance at first impression. So
Correct.
So he wasn't allowed to come down. He had a wine cellar. He made wine and said, "Ed, knock yourself out." So this was dream time stuff.
Stop it.
Yeah, so I did that, and it was an amazing job, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it. So that's going back to when the brief's not tight and I can have a little bit of free rein.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is, and it's great to be able to just really just go for it. So, outside of doing, I guess, commercial projects like that, and you also do for private clients as well.
Absolutely.
You started up before COVID or after COVID? Or during COVID?
Which is Creative Features.
Yeah.
That was started a year, well, probably about 9 months. Excuse me, probably about 9 months prior to COVID. And we got this great traction. I mean, we picked up some great clients. We really, we were looking like a 10-year-old company in a short time.
Yeah, you've done some amazing jobs.
We had we actually won a tender over a lot of companies up in Sydney for a sculpture that we didn't think we had a hope in hell, and we won that. So then we're excited, looking forward to a great year. Picked up another couple of clients in Sydney through the work we'd already done, so it was starting to get some legs on it, and then COVID.
Yeah. So that's how we get to Art Bar.
Yes. So lost all the contracts to all these jobs, and it was a bit of uncertainty, doom and gloom. What's going to happen here? What a great start, and it's like, shit, this is the story of my life. Not that it's bad, but it's like,
I'm just getting some,
So, answering the question on that, so we were sitting around, Carolyn said, you're an artist, why don't we get a liquor license, have some food and get people to paint? And I went, really?
Will people... Oh, because also I just want to mention that you actually have won a tiny award. There's another little art award that you've...
Yeah, it was just a little one. I entered in the Archibald with Neale Daniher from MND, which was an amazing man, amazing family. Great opportunity to be able to do that. That was another nerve-wracking thing. Can you do it? Yeah. Shit, done it.
Did you leave it to like 2 days before, or
no?
How did that work
Unfortunately, couldn't do it with this one because we had a deadline and it had to be delivered in the Sydney Art Gallery, and there was I gave myself 4 weeks to do it, and I don't think I started until 2 weeks. Every time I'd walk in the room, I'd freeze. The expectations were so high.
Was it up on a big canvas?
Yeah, it was all there. You
had it all there, ready to go, and you come in.
I'd been to Neale's home, met the family. We'd had the photo shoot. Great day. Had it all done. Images were there. I picked the image I'd like to paint. I just couldn't get the brush on the canvas. I think my expectations were high. The nerves were this is a great man from a great foundation, has done an amazing amount of work, raised over probably close to $40+ million in support of all MND, and yeah, it was just like, I've got to make this guy look amazing, you know. I couldn't do it.
And the pressure?
No, I couldn't do it. The pressure was really hard. And I went home one day, and it was the first time in my backyard, I kind of not vomited, but I felt sick.
Yeah, right.
Really felt sick, and I said, I actually was going to pull out. I said, I'm not going to do this. I can't believe what I got myself into in a kind of strange way. Came here one day, and I painted 7 shirts. He had a white shirt on, and I changed it every day. I painted a new white shirt. I just wasn't happy with the shirt, and that was the day I was going to pull out. My oldest son came by, goes, Dad, you look stressed. I said, I can't fucking do this, man. He goes, doesn't matter. You're going to paint him. You're going to do your best at it. You da-da-da. He's very level-headed, smart boy. And he left, and that day he left, I just went, you know what? Seriously, like, who's going to judge me on this?
Exactly.
So
it's what's in here and here.
Yeah, it was a turning point.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because you were trying to do it for other people, whereas you just needed to do it for you.
Yeah, I think so. And that was a turning point. And from that day on, I just got into it. And I had late nights at the back. I was drinking red wine. I was dancing on tables.
Oh, I love it.
I was just on my own. If you'd open the door with the loud volume tunes and the wine, and like, I was having a party on my own, and it was really good fun. Really good fun. And the result, again, I kept it from people because I wanted to see the reaction of, you know, the faces, to see whether I'd captured that actual image. So we had an opening night here. We invited some guests and people and the family and all that, and hung it on the wall. And then I pulled the curtain like in the movies, and we ran some stuff on MND and Neale and all the work he'd done prior to the unveiling, and we unveiled it, and that was the moment, the relief. Yeah, it just kind of was really cool. Everyone just went, wow, amazing. I felt comfortable. I delivered, and then after that, I couldn't give a shit what I'd won, really. I'd met a great family, and I thought I did a great job.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think, you know, I'd be interested to hear what you're saying, but you say about it. When you create, there is that temptation to worry too much about what other people will think about it.
And what's correct.
And it's not good enough, that whole thing. And just sort of feeling, you know, there's a lot of pressure that if you don't do it a particular way, and I've noticed when I do things like that, it is when you get your head back in the game and go, actually, it's not about doing that for anybody else, or so that I'm getting, you know, their buy-in from it or anything. The best work is when you do it for yourself, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, 100%.
And it works.
Yeah.
And then if you're completely good with that in here, it will flow.
Look, you see it when you watch those talent shows, you know, Britain's Got Talent, or, you know, The Voice, and all those programs where they say you've got to be yourself. You don't really realise that, because that's when it's really real.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. That's when it actually means something.
To everyone else. That's right.
That's right. When you take away the fact that you don't worry about what other people are thinking.
And it's real.
Yeah, it's real. That's it. That's exactly right.
That's what it is.
So there it is. And so here you are doing Art Bar. You started the classes, and I know they are so much fun. And also we're coming again this week, so they are very fun. You really, I mean, you started this before most other people had started it, the Art Bar. And you've just got such an amazing, you've created an amazing feeling when you walk through that pink door. In fact, beyond there, because outside you've got these flowers on the wall, there's Audrey Hepburn on the thing, there's a big mural. You walk in and there's just a wash of all these amazing colours and stuff that you can look at. So I'm in heaven out there. You've got a bar. And then,
Did you hear that?
so it's quite good. I think you've done really well. And then you sort of, and so you just straight away you feel really good.
Yeah.
And then you come in here and you're like, oh, yep, love it. And then you actually take the classes, don't you?
Yes. Thanks for the promo. Amazing.
Oh, I'm saying it how
Unreal.
it is.
Well, stepping back a sec, where you said where you let go and you don't have the brief and all that kind of stuff, because it's my place. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever I like.
There it is, because you're doing you.
It's me. I'm not. It's not a brief by a client. It's not someone's face that I have to paint. It's just what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe you're feeling.
Yeah.
That's a creative vibe, isn't it? So if you're feeling the vibe,
this is it. And so
works.
other people could do it. You could go to another place, that does this sort of stuff. They probably won't have a bar though. I think this is a really good thing, just as an aside, because I don't mind a glass of champagne while I'm painting, actually.
Wow.
But you bring the fun into the, like, that's what I notice. Like when you're up there, it's you that's coming through. And
I just stress myself out, don't I?
He's yabbering away and the tunes are going
My
and he's
whole life
just,
is just stress myself out just to get to the next thing.
It's just awesome.
I remember my first class, like you just said, I had 14 people staring at me. I didn't know. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm not
I bet you your first class was awesome. I bet you if we went and interviewed those 12 people, in fact I'm going to track them down, they would have gone, oh my God,
it was
the best
pretty
thing.
good. I was pretty good. There was some language, there was some innuendos, some out of character jokes, some racism, there's all sorts of that stuff going on in fun, of course.
Yeah.
And then, Carolyn's quick to say, we can't do those things with people.
Yeah.
But tastefully, it works well. And all crowds are different.
That's right.
I have all sorts of different people come in. I have young people, older groups.
Because you have, when we were there was a whole lot of different people that had sort of turned up in twos and ones, but you also do like a bigger group. So I would imagine that would be even better to be able to connect with everyone. Because I think that's the other thing as well. I mean, the underlying current of this show as well is all about connection and people connecting. So you as an artist connect not only visually, but when you're teaching them, or it's not even really, it's an art lesson, but it's not weeks and weeks, it's a night, and you have to connect with everybody there. Yeah, that's an important job.
Well, it's an important job. It really is, because you have different dynamics of different people, and I get to DJ.
Yeah, look at you living the life. Do you wear your board shorts?
No, I get to DJ.
You
so
do need your board
we do song requests. We do song requests, and I cue them up, and we dance. We did a cha-cha around the tables the other night. You're right. You have to connect, and it usually takes a little bit of time. It's a 2.5 hour session, and it's usually into the first hour. You get to know the people. You walk around the tables, and try a couple of different bits of humour. If it doesn't go, you go another way. But first and foremost is to connect with everyone and get them to have a really good experience.
Yeah, well, it's an experience, and that's sort of something that you can't just say, I'm going to open this and do it, and not be able to connect with people, because you won't get people back.
No.
And you get people talking about this experience.
Google review people.
Because it is, they really do have a good time here.
Yeah.
They look at what's going on here, and this has all come out of your brain. Like one night, I feel like one night you woke up and went, I'm going to do that mirror pink and the flowers.
I thought you were going to say I rolled a joint, and I sat there and went, No.
And then I'm going to put
after
this
the classes.
And then I'm going to put this on the floor, and then I'm going to put these, and so this was a whole, I
don't kind of plan it. I didn't draw it
That's
up.
your difference, though.
Yeah, I didn't
and
draw
I think
it up.
that's something that you should be really proud of,
Thanks for that.
And Caroline and everybody else here that
absolutely.
brings everything in. But you've put your stamp here, and it's just such a cool place. I love filming here. It's awesome.
The way I put it together is, okay, so you go art. What's going to be really cosy with art?
Fire.
Fire, number one, right? I went out and bought a fireplace.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be great to drink wine and have a fire.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's okay. So there we're at that. And then what's the other thing about art? It's colours.
Yeah.
Colours. It's all colours.
Yeah.
So we coloured the floors.
Yeah.
And that was the next bit. So it was a fireplace and colours.
Yeah, see, I would never have thought about, that's not entirely true. I don't think I would have thought about these colours on the floor, but I love this. This is what makes it so unique. You know,
It kind of brings you back to that childhood thing.
Yeah, it
Grown-up
does.
childhood.
And then
children.
up here, and we'll put footage of this beautiful place so everyone can see, but it's like little, this is bullshit, big balls up there, big brown balls, colour, there's so much colour here, it's awesome.
Yeah. And of an evening when we do classes or a day, especially evenings probably better, the fire's on, the lights are a bit dim, if you're playing some nice Dinah Krall, some jazz or something, depending on the clients you have, it's really cool. Like the other day we had a family book it for a birthday, so we had the whole family in here. I said song list, they said whatever you like, picked them out, they were pretty cool, we chucked some jazz, and it was just a really fun day. Really, really fun day.
Because you kind of feel like you're in a like maybe just a cool house. You know what I mean?
Cool
like
house.
It's a cool.
Should come to my house.
Oh, is it like this?
Not like this.
No, I can't imagine it be like this. That would be a little bit crazy.
No, it's actually different to this. Yeah,
I can imagine.
Because I'm schizophrenic in designing, so.
Yeah, this was a lot.
I don't think I'll get away with this at home.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll come and I'll assess, and I'll give you my opinion.
Okay, thank
Eddie,
you.
okay,
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, great.
So, what do you think now is going to happen? I know you're working on another commercial project.
Mm-hmm.
More of this. You must be doing more of these amazing classes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to be doing in 5 years? Do you reckon?
Wow. Shit.
Didn't know I was going to ask that, did you?
No, well, I've just given you my whole life story, and it's just not been step by step, has it? It's been pretty sporadic. So, where am I going to be in 5 years?
Still creating,
maybe
though.
A pilot, or I don't know. It's just something that's just Look, I think I'd like to say here in this. I think I'm happy with this. I was just counting. Carolyn said today, why don't you count up how many we have reviews? We ask everyone to give us a review after each class, just get an indication how we're going and what we can do better and all the rest of it. So
nothing.
Well, it is nothing. So I went through all of them, and just in 2 months, I've taught just over 200 people.
Wow.
And it's 200 people that have had a good time, giving us
really
good reviews, and it's been really good. So
You're doing the right thing.
I'd like to open some more branches, as you'd say, and keep it intimate. Have some staff that are also fun and like to share a good experience with people and share it around, share the love as much as we can.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I think that's what you'll be doing. I feel like this has to be cloned, because this is a good thing. This is happiness after a really, the fact that we can, even after COVID, sit here and do this is really extraordinary.
Yeah, really good.
It's amazing,
absolutely.
And the fact that you can sit here and have this experience. I think people are more focused on having an experience.
Yeah, well, the experience, the general experiences with people has been over the years is travel and getting away and getting all that. So the idea behind Art Bar was, with COVID, obviously travel being restricted, people were staying more indoors, local areas in their own community. So it was really to try something different for obviously no one's travelling, getting around, so it gives you an opportunity to have people come in, have a drink, do some painting.
Yeah.
Have a bit of fun.
And experience and have some fun.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
We don't want artists here. We don't want you.
You've got the artists.
That's right. We want people who don't know how to paint, that want to have fun.
Yeah, that's it. Bottom line. Well, thank you so much. And for someone who was reluctant to be pulled away from his easel, you've done very well, Eddie. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story.
It was a pleasure. I didn't think I was going to share my life story today to anyone. But
hey, there it is.
You got it out of me. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Eddie from Art Bar, and we're going to put all of their handles in the video, so you need to follow them and just have a look at his amazing work and have a look at this space. It is amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You are.
You are.
WR. Thanks.